Good morning, friends. I am Dr. Venkat, Associate Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Gayatri Vidya Parishad College of Engineering, Visakhapatnam. So, I am here to explain you the response of single degree freedom system for undamped harmonic vibration. So far we have discussed undamped free vibration, damped free vibration. Now harmonic vibration, starting with the undamped. That means we don't have damping in the system. So the additional part is the force applied onto the system continuously, which is equal to P naught sin omega bar t. So if you look at how does this force vibration looks like, it is something like this. This is the time axis and this is your force axis, which is P of t. Because it's a sine function, so we'll have sine 0, 0, it goes like this. So the maximum force applied on the structure is P naught. So this is a function of force onto the system. This is harmonic force. That's how we say harmonic, with a period of T bar, which is 2 pi by omega bar. The omega bar, we also call omega bar, is your forcing frequency. Forcing frequency. And as a result of force onto the system, or otherwise, the system has its own frequency. That frequency called natural frequency, we call it as omega, which is natural frequency of the system. Omega is the natural frequency of the system, and omega bar is the forcing frequency which is coming from the force. Right? So, whenever there is a harmonic vibration, that means force vibration is there. So there will be two frequencies. Please bear in mind, there will be two frequencies. One is omega bar, which is forcing frequency coming from the force. Omega is the natural frequency coming from the system. So there is a ratio called omega bar by omega. Some people write as omega n, natural frequency, but doesn't matter. This is called frequency ratio called beta. We say frequency ratio. Frequency ratio. Now, to understand what is this forcing frequency onto the structure real time, I would like to demonstrate to you with a small example of a cantilever beam. So let us say this is my cantilever beam having some stiffness K with a mass M, and by nature itself there will be a frequency which is omega for the system, or omega n, natural frequency. Now if there is any machinery sitting onto the cantilever beam and giving a continuous harmonic force onto this cantilever beam, like this, my pen, marker pen, is inducing force onto this particular cantilever beam with a continuous frequency of omega bar. I hope it is clear. This particular pen giving a continuous frequency, let us say 1 second per hit. So this is now once I remove the pen out of that, this becomes a free vibration. As long as my pen is hitting to the scale, this is force vibration. And there must be a regular hitting which is having certain frequency of hit. I hope this is clear to you what is meant by forcing frequency. The system vibrating due to this is called vibration of the system due to forces. For this system, the equation of motion will be m is the mass mx double dot plus kx is equal to p of t, which is nothing but my p naught sine omega bar t. This is a harmonic force applied onto the system. If it is free vibration, this term would have been 0. So now, because the constant term is the other side of the equation also, so this solution of this will have two parts. The solution will have two parts. One is your particular solution. Second one is a homogeneous solution. Right? So we write down particular solution as xp, homogeneous solution as xs. The combined together, the total response is equal to xp plus xh. So this is the total solution. So let us understand what is a homogeneous solution of this system or differential equation. So the homogeneous part, let us start with homogeneous part. This one is written as mxh double dot plus kxh equal to 0. This, I divide this equation of motion into two parts. This is homogeneous part. So we know this part is nothing but my free vibration undamped. So the solution will be xh of t is nothing but my c1 sin omega t plus c2 cos omega t, where we know this omega nothing but root over k by m. This we already learned from part of a free vibration. For the force vibration, solution of the force vibration, which is harmonic vibration for undamped system, has got two solutions. One is a harmonic part, a homogeneous part, homogeneous solution part, which called XH. Second is called particular solution. Second is particular part or solution, which is XP. Now, if you look at this homogeneous part, so this equation is written as mxh double dot plus kxh equal to 0. This is nothing but our free vibration due to undamped system, and the solution of this will be xh of t equal to c1 sin omega t plus c2 cos omega t. This c1, c2 are the constant, can be obtained from initial conditions, where omega, remember here omega is your natural frequency root over k by m. This is my first part, which is homogeneous part of the solution. If you look at the second part of the solution, which is particular part, particular part, the equation of motion can be written as mxp double dot plus kxp is equal to p naught, which is the force, sin omega bar t. This is the equation. Now the solution for this, we have assumed the solution, which is xp equal to, that means xp means xp of t. We should remember that always, is in terms of time only, because we are talking about the dynamic forces. So assume it g1 sin omega bar t plus some g2 cos omega bar t. This is my assumed solution. Because I know this is particularly without damping, so this will have some harmonic response only. So that is why this is my assumed solution. So now this assumed solution we have to substitute into the equation of motion to get the solution. Then when you combine these two, xh plus xp will get the total solution. So this particular, if we try to for substitution into the equation of motion, I have to do the 2 times differentiation. Xp dot of t is equal to g1 omega bar cos omega bar t, because cos will be minus, so minus g2 omega bar sin omega bar t. Then one more time differentiation of this, double dot of t will give you, one more time here, because cos will become minus g1 omega bar square sin omega bar t minus g2 omega bar square cos omega bar t. So we got xp dot, xp double dot. So substitute these two into this equation. Then what we get is, we'll see. So substituting the differentiation terms into the equation of motion, what we get is k minus omega bar square m g1 sin omega bar t plus k minus omega bar square m into g2 cos omega bar t is equal to p naught sin omega bar t. Now this is finally we get this equation. Then if you compare the terms, left hand side and right hand side. So what do we get here? Compare the sine term and sine term, and this side cos not there, cos taken as 0 coefficients. So what we get, the k minus omega bar square m into g1 equal to p naught, and term comparing only the coefficients of sine term, coefficient of cos term. Then k minus omega bar square m into g2 is equal to 0. And what is my goal? My goal is to find out the g1 and g2. From this I can understand either this term is 0 or this term is 0. If this is not 0, this is equal to 0, because multiplication of these two terms is 0. So because this term can never be 0, can never be equal to 0, so g2 will be equal to 0. This is 0 only when at the resonance time. So since there is no resonance, we will not expect resonance into the structure. So this term will be not equal to 0. So g2 equal to 0. So the g1 term, so that from here I can understand the g1 is equal to p naught by k minus omega bar square m, and if you properly substitute this or divide this by k and this whole term by k, what do we get here? The g1 is equal to p naught by k. This will be 1 minus omega bar square by m by k is again omega square. This is nothing but my beta square. This is nothing but p naught by k divided by 1 minus beta square, because omega by omega is nothing but my beta, which already I explained to you. So substituting this g1 and g2 into the equation of motion for a particular solution, so what we get is your x of xp equal to p naught by k by 1 minus beta square sine omega bar t. Then now I got particular solution. I also got the harmonic solution. Putting together, x of total solution is xh plus xp. So this solution I can write down as c1 sin omega t plus c2 cos omega t. This is coming from the harmonic solution, homogeneous solution, plus a particular solution which is p naught by k by 1 minus beta square sin omega bar t. So now there are two unknowns, c1 and c2. We have two initial conditions, and very important to know what are the initial conditions in the harmonic vibrations. Initial conditions in the force vibration are very important to know. At time t is equal to 0, the initial displacement equal to 0 and initial velocity x dot r naught, or we also call u naught velocity, both are 0. This is very important to note, because I am not displacing the structure with initial displacement. So initial displacement is 0, initial velocity is 0, because I have got a forcing frequency onto the structure. Conditions, which is x initial displacement is equal to 0, and then applying that we get c2 equal to 0. So our aim is to find out the coefficients u and c2 constants. So with initial displacement equal to 0, we get c2 equal to 0 in the equation, and then with the initial velocity equal to 0, that is u equal to 0 or u naught equal to 0 with velocity. So I get c1, which is equal to minus beta times p naught by k by 1 minus beta square. So I am not going in detail substitution term by term, but you can get this. The final equation what I derived. So in that, so use this initial two conditions, I can get a C1 and C2. Substituting this into the original assumed equation C1 C2, so I get x of t is equal to p naught by k 1 by beta square sin omega bar t minus beta times sin omega t. So this is a solution of the single degree freedom system undamped harmonic vibration. So this is a solution, right? So this is the solution. But if you look at carefully this response, total response, what happens if omega bar is equal to omega? That means beta equal to 1. When I substitute beta equal to 1, this denominator will be 0. When I substitute beta equal to 1, omega bar, nothing but what? I can write this numerator term as sin omega bar, means because omega bar by omega equal to beta, so nothing but I can write omega in. So taking the initial conditions, x naught equal to 0 and u naught equal to 0, initial displacement, initial velocity equal to 0 is important initial condition for the harmonic vibrations. So taking x naught equal to 0, I get c2 equal to 0. When I say initial velocity equal to 0, I get a c1 is equal to minus beta into p naught by k by 1 minus beta square. Then substituting this into the original equation, so I get total response equal to x of t equal to p naught by k by 1 minus beta square sin omega bar t minus beta times sin omega t. This is the final response. But if you observe carefully, what happens at omega bar by omega equal to beta, that is equal to 1. At beta is equal to 1, denominator is 0. And what happened to numerator? Omega bar is nothing but omega beta minus beta times sin omega t. Now since beta is equal to 1, so this term will be a sin omega minus omega t minus sin omega t. So this is equal to 0. So this entire equation becomes 0 by 0 form. That means this is not applicable. This equation is not valid at resonance. So it means this equation is not enough. It is at the resonance time. That means if I draw carefully, the response of the system, which is x of t versus, this is over the time or at the frequency at x of t. So it goes something like this. So at particular value of beta equal to 1, this is beta. So whatever here, let's say 0.5, 0.5, 1.5, 2. At particular beta equal to 1, I cannot define the response. Up to beta equal to 1, I get a solution. After beta equal to 1, I get a solution. But at particular beta equal to 1, I don't get a solution. That is mean by this particular solution doesn't apply to resonance. But I know there is a danger in the resonance. So how to understand? So I have to modify this response by using something called L'Hospital rule. When mathematically, when numerator and denominator both are 0, I have to use an L'Hospital rule. That is differentiation of the numerator with respect to beta and denominator with respect to beta. Then I get the another solution. That is called L'Hospital rule. So what I get? P naught by k omega t cos beta omega t minus sin omega t, and differentiating the denominator, what I get? Minus 2 beta. This is the x of t solution. Now substituting beta equal to 1 into the entire system, so I get x of t is equal to p naught by k by 2 or p naught by 2k sin omega t minus omega t cos omega t. This is the solution particularly at the resonance. So if you try to look at the response of this at resonance, if you look at carefully, that's why it makes us very frightening when I say that the response, which is your x of t, as the time progresses, solution starts at time t is equal to 0. So the response is 0. So immediately it goes, increases very rapidly at beta equal to 1. This is at a beta equal to 1. The response is going exponentially increasing. This is the response at a resonance. That's why, so it is recommended not to have the system at the resonance, means forcing frequency and structure frequency should not be same or very close to each other. If they are close to each other, the amplitudes goes on increasing over time. Okay? So this is the response. Previously what I explained, that if I have, general response was that if I have, this is your t and this was my dynamic amplitude factor or x of t by xst, you can say. Dynamic amplification factor is going increasing like this and going to the negative side only at beta is equal to 1. This is not the time, this is beta. At beta is equal to 1, 1.5 to 2.5. So only at beta was not defined. Now if at the beta what happens is this is what happens. So amplitude goes on increasing very rapidly with a short period of time. Thank you.